Curved plumes of dust erupted among the low buildings that were on the enemy's right flank. The best troops left in the town, the satrap's own guard and the liveried Gestul elites, had made no secret that they were defending that zone with their superior firepower. As a result, the main thrust of the attack went to the left, leaving the most fearsome of the defenders unengaged. And if their only opponents had been the indifferently trained and diversely equipped tribes or militias of the wastes, their ploy, to encourage the attackers to concentrate on the opposite flank and so facilitate their escape, might very well have worked. But they were facing professionals who had been trained for and blooded in the most ferocious wars of what was, at the best of times, a planet constantly beset by wars. 20th century Earth. The 5 vehicles that came roaring out from between the buildings on the right flank flung up grit and sand behind them. The 2 in the lead were turreted APCs, old but well-maintained, at least by local standards. The other 3 belonged to that class of vehicles that the lost soldiers had dubbed technicals. Hand-me-downs that had as many salvaged or hand-tooled parts as rusted and battered originals, but all of them had automatic weapons that were stuttering and slewing from side to side in what their local opponents saw as fury, but the cadre of lost soldiers recognized as a panicked imitation of suppressive fire. After racing 200 meters directly toward the positions of the troops ringing the town, the 5 vehicles cut sharply to the right. They maintained good formation as they turned, almost certainly cued by arriving at a waypoint feature or some unseen signal. Clearly, their aggressive run at the enemy lines had been a feint, one that got them beyond the rocky spur that sheltered the town on that side. Having cleared it, they could make a straight run for the open desert. But it was one of the scenarios the lost soldiers had anticipated. As the vehicles straightened out and began regaining speed, the scrub 200 yards in front of them began sparking, muzzle flashes from M14 armed indigs. Although not many of the rounds hit, even the elite troops hesitated for a moment. This blocking force wouldn't be here at all if their escape attempt hadn't been anticipated. And what if the enemy now in front of them had heavier weapons? The few moments they spent scanning for any sign of such weapons among the scrub-concealed indig riflemen was what their enemy had hoped to accomplish. Even the elites were looking in the wrong place at precisely the wrong moment. The lost soldiers had concealed 2 of their APCs and 1 medium AFV behind the opposite side of the rocky spur that hemmed in the town. Their larger weapons poured a ragged volley into the rear flank of the fleeing vehicles.